Hey, what's going on? It's Ransom, and tonight I saw The Woman in Black, which is a horror film adaptation of a book, which was then turned into a play. Now it's a movie. It's also Daniel Radcliffe's first role outside of the Harry Potter universe. Now, is this movie going to scare the bejesus out of you, or are you going to walk out of that theater saying, oh, that was lame? Well, that's why we're here. This is the Vegas Stir. Welcome back, it's Ransom, and again, we're talking about The Woman in Black. Now, David wasn't able to make it to the screening with me tonight. Probably a good thing, because he doesn't do too well with these horror films. And if you don't know much about this film, I'll give you a quick synopsis taken off of IMDb. It's about a young lawyer named Arthur Kipps, who is played by Daniel Radcliffe. He has to travel to a remote village where he discovers the vengeful ghost of a scorned woman who has been terrorizing the locals. And when I say terrorizing the locals, I mean killing children around the village, which is pretty morbid stuff. I mean, within the first 60 seconds of the film, you actually witness it happen to 3 young girls. And it's kind of interesting because it's the only scene in the movie that doesn't feature Daniel Radcliffe. Yep, he is pretty much in every scene of the movie, so if you are not a fan of Daniel Radcliffe's face for whatever reason, probably not going to be the movie for you. However, if you're a horror fan, this film might be right up your alley, and let me explain. Now, the thing that I really loved about The Woman in Black is that they do an incredible job at balancing two things that we've come to expect from the horror genre. Yeah, you're gonna get those cheap scares where things are jumping out at you and going boo! But there's also plenty of times throughout this film where it's really just gonna mess with your mind and your psyche. A scene that comes to mind, without giving too much away, Arthur Kipps finds himself in a room that used to belong to a little boy. And while he's standing in there, the wind-up toys in the room start to go by themselves. Now, the first time that it happens, it's one of those cheap boo scares, you know? But then the other toys in the room start to go. And this is where the cinematography is actually kind of brilliant, because some of the angles that they used on the toys, man, it really just messes with your mind. Like I mentioned earlier, Daniel Radcliffe is in pretty much every scene in the movie. Is this the role that's going to make you forget that he was once Harry Potter? Absolutely not. But Daniel's role as Arthur Kipps should be a really great reminder at how far this young man has come in terms of acting ability. He's quite good in this film. You know, my only complaint with the movie is that it takes a little while for it to get going, but you know, that's to be expected with this kind of movie. But once it does start going, man, it takes you on a wild ride. The Woman in Black opens up in theaters this Friday, February 3rd. I gotta give it a thumbs up. Unless you have a heart condition, go check out this movie in theaters this weekend.